there's definitely some styles of TV shows that I would never have agreed to. CMT is the right place for us to be, and the production company, treat the process with respect. It's high stakes.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Brian Jones from PopCulture.com, and my guest today is the longtime director of the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders. She's a former Dallas Cowboys cheerleader herself and can currently be seen in the longtime CMT series, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders, Making the Team. The 16th season premieres this Friday at 9 p.m. 8 Central. Kelli Finglass. Kelli, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
I am good. How are you in Georgia?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you so much for asking. But as I mentioned, the new season of Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders Making the Team premieres this Friday. It's the 16th season. What can fans expect from this season, especially after last year where everything with the COVID-19 pandemic, everything had to be done virtually? So what can fans expect from this new season?
Well, fans are going to see us emotionally experiencing becoming a team again, that fellowship part of it. Our cheerleaders last year, we were in separate locker rooms, and we were always having to keep them so far away and masked and just away from each other. It almost felt unnatural. This year, we are celebrating being back together. This year, we are celebrating being on the turf. And it's some tearful moments, to be honest with you, when that happens. Just the things that we might have taken for granted, the bus ride together, the kick line. We do an iconic kick line that is physically hooked up at the shoulders, and they get to do that again. And you may or may not see me cry at that moment. And then we, of course, have some amazing journeys from all over the country. We had ladies from 45 states try out this year. And those journeys and the backstories and even some of the adversity that some have overcome to be here are heartwarming and heart-wrenching. It's an emotional season. And then we have a couple little unexpected departures. We have big makeovers. We have some lessons in grace and maturity. So it's exciting. It's a special season. It's special because of everything was, nothing was easy and nothing is taken for granted.
Absolutely. And one of the things about this season is there's 600 audition tapes that you looked over, and then there's 25 rookies that are battling 26 returning veterans. Was this, and I know you've seen your share of auditions over the years, but how difficult was this selection process compared to other years?
Well, it's difficult because they're great. I mean, by the time they reach Dallas and the show opens up, you see 51 ladies that are all beautiful and very charming and unique in their own way, and extremely talented dancers. That's what 16 years of a TV show has done for us. We have elevated our, we have elevated the reach. When we're having people come in from Australia and Japan to try out and across 45 states, and they're all extremely talented dancers. At the last few cuts, all the cuts are hard. The first cut's the hardest, and the last cut's equally the hardest. But I really just have to trust my process, my professional judges from broadcast, from the dance world, from the fashion industry, all of those, and make the most comprehensive decision that I can sleep with at night. And it's hard. It is, but the celebration part for the 36 ladies that make the team is just an amazing magic carpet.
And that actually leads to my next question, because the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders are such a brand. As you mentioned, you have everyone from across the country and across the world trying out to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. So what do you look for when it comes to selecting a person being part of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleading squad?
Well, we start with, the first rounds of auditions are now online submissions. So you see them aesthetically. Are they beautiful to 14 different sets of eyeballs and judges? And then the dance technique has to be there because our choreography is elevated now. It's fast moving. They have to be really smart dancers because in a football game, you don't know what music's going to be played. It's all conditional depending upon if you're on offense or defense or touchdown or extra point, or, that's what dictates the music being played. And excuse me, if you hear scratching, that's my Shih Tzu. Comfort her. My dog is a character in the show this year.
Oh, there you go.
Well, without knowing she is.
Right.
So that, but then, and you would appreciate this, the dynamic personalities, the real charismatic personalities that can interact with people really well. And frankly, we've done less personal appearances because of the pandemic. So a lot of what the cheerleaders did this year is exactly what we're doing, Zoom style interviews and appearances. We kind of to recreate how we interact with people. So being able to speak well and engage with people and being real personable, all of those things are decision makers, especially at the end.
Absolutely. And, when you look at this show, as I mentioned, it's the longest running series on CMT. It started in 2006, and it has become very popular because the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders are very popular. But did you think this show would last 16 seasons?
I could never have imagined. No, I could not have imagined this.
Yeah.
I'm still doing what I did before a TV show. We are selecting teams, and then we develop the teams and get them game ready and performance ready. And we do a football season that hopefully goes longer than playoff, goes into the playoff season and a Super Bowl, and make appearances worldwide. But television was new to us, and it did take a few years to get used to the, just having cameras and the intrusion factor, just having cameras and microphones capturing everything you say and do. We're used to them now. The crew is practically like family now. Our television crew's been around longer than all of the cheerleaders, in terms of tenure. And they get emotionally, they see this play out live too. It's not scripted. So, but it's kind of become a way of life. And it's all done respectfully. So I appreciate that. There's definitely some styles of TV shows that I would never have agreed to. CMT is the right place for us to be, and the production company, treat the process with respect. It's high stakes. There's some dreams coming true for young women across the country. And then there's, some dreams being broken. And that's the gentle mix that I try to make sure is that people leave still inspired and hopeful for another year, or maybe a different door, but confident in themselves.
Yeah, and you mentioned the whole family aspect. The fact it's on CMT is done right compared to other reality shows. So my next question is, how long do you see this series going for? Can it go another 16 years? Because again, the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders are always going to be popular. And as long as they're on TV, they're going, in terms of a reality series, they're going to stay relevant. So how long do you see the show going for?
I don't know. I know the fan engagement grows every year. I don't consider myself a television, I'm a promoter of the cheerleaders and passionate about the cheerleaders and their experiences. But, it looks like our culture loves talent shows, loves things where you can peek into the selection process. Everybody's an expert on vocalists and musicians and talent shows and cooking shows. And ours is kind of a niche selection process. There's no job like it. You couldn't even copy our show because it's a one-of-a-kind organization. So I think because it's unique, and as long as fans are still, as long as we have new, wonderful, interesting journeys on rookies peppered with the beautiful senior leadership of our veterans, people find it interesting and inspiring and motivating.
Oh, of course. And we were talking a little bit before we started recording or went on air about how I used to cover the Falcons, and I would get there early on game days and see the cheerleaders actually before I see the players, and them warming up, going through the routine, going through what they would do on the actual once the game starts. So for those who don't know, what's it like for the cheerleaders on game day? How early do they get to the stadium? What's it like when it comes to rehearsal? How's the whole process on game day?
Game day is a long day for the cheerleaders. If the door, let me go backwards. If the doors open if the game is at noon, doors are at 10. Mm-hmm. We get off the field by 9. So we're practicing by 8 a.m. We're on a bus at 7 a.m. means they've probably left their houses at 6 a.m. They probably woke up at 5 a.m. So we go to the games, we arrive on the bus, we do an hour game day rehearsal, because that's really the only time we have the entire audio visual crew. It's game day. We practice everything we're doing, feature pregame performance, plus our feature quarter changes. Plus, we do touchdowns, extra points, kickoff. I try to have the girls as absolutely prepared as they can possibly be, so that when kickoff really happens, it's instinctive for them and they don't have to think. Then the game starts at noon. The game's over at 3. Probably takes us an hour to get out of there by 4 on a bus back to our headquarters at 5, and they might be home by 6. So it could be an 11-hour day with lots of dancing, but they love it. Imagine performing in front of 80 to 100,000 people, and it's something you're separate. Their families come to the games. It's exciting. It's the NFL. It's a live, high stakes game. It's exciting.
Oh, it definitely is very exciting. And the last question for me before I let you go is, you took over as director of Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders in 1991, and since then it has grown into this major brand. Did you ever think when you took this over in 1991, was your goal to have the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders to be the elite squad in the NFL and just really football in general?
I had a planner and a sheet of paper, and I just started writing down all the things that I thought the girls were great at, from dancing to performing to their talent, and all the things that I wrote down, I've pursued, like designing camps for kids, and the auditions. Our auditions have always been really interesting, but nobody got to see them. That was part of the premise of the TV shows. Wow, I wish people could see how talented they really are when they're doing their genre of dance that they're trained in, with costumes, and they're just and see everything. And now they are. So that came true. But yeah, I guess I would say I have big visions and ideas. It's constant, it's exhausting. And that gives us momentum.
Absolutely. Well, you're doing a great job. You've done great work over the years. Kelli, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on season 16, and good luck to you this season.
Thank you, and you as well.
Thank you very much. And guys, again, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders Making the Team premiere, season 16 premieres this Friday on CMT at 9 p.m., 8 p.m. Central. And for more on the show, more on Kelli and all your favorite celebrities and sports stars, keep it locked right here on PopCulture.com.